Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial. This time we are working on Late Night by Foals, and note here that my cover is very simplistic and it's missing the actual guitar solo. So what I like to do in the end when you are supposed to play the guitar solo, I just like to work on those chords and do something that suggests a solo, not necessarily anything specific, but if you feel like it, you could do the actual solo. I just didn't bother learning it because I felt like my version would be better without the solo. So first of all, what we have going on is simplistic chords. So you begin on D minor, another D minor, then C major and B flat minor. And if you want to, you can lower this D minor chord down to C. After 3 runs of this, you move on to the actual melody, and it starts on A on the lower register. So as you note here, this calling out your name, I like to work on this. And raising left hand up to F major. And here I like to up the second repeat up 1 octave so it doesn't muddle it up too much. Then we have the second verse, and if you wonder what I'm doing right now, I have my sheet music or my notes more accurately over there, and you have a very similar kind of second chorus up to the, and I know the place but not the wave. I feel no shame. Around that time you start changing it up. So then you have the stay with me part, and around this part I like to just leave it ringing out on the left hand. The bridge is a bit different, and you should have something a bit moving going on here. I like to do it like so you have B minor, C major, G minor, A minor, Then you have the melody added up, starting on the as you notice, I like to add more intervals the further along we go with this bridge part, but you may feel like it's more impressive if you do just with the melody. I like the intervals, figure out what your stance is here. And with the second time we go through the Stay With Me part, it's like D minor, F major, G major, to up the right hand one octave. Then we come to the guitar solo part, and this, as I already mentioned, you can do pretty freely. You can either very much play the exact guitar solo as is on the album version, or you can do something around this D minor, F major, C major, B flat minor chords. I prefer the second part because I'm a lazy person and I don't feel like actually learning guitar solos for songs that I'm playing for just a couple weeks at the most. What I like to do is just like And as you may have seen from the way I played the outro right now, I like to thin it out quite a lot towards the end, so loose intervals on the right hand and don't add the fifth note of the chord on the left hand, and that should basically cover how you let it fade out naturally. And if you feel very much like going exactly how they played it on the album, you want to stop on this D minor chord, preferably with the highest note being a D. So this is very closely how I played the cover just a few minutes ago. Whatever you do with this song, just remember that this is meant for a band and it's very much focused on those contrasts with rhythm and filling in the space as the song goes on, and then removing that fullness as we move towards the end. So do your own version, but if you do a cover based on this tutorial, I would love to see them, so link them down below in the comments. And as always, it was a pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye!